Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Punting in Pauper, the show where I do my best to not absolutely punt and stumble my way through Pauper games here on MTGO. I'm your host, Gord. Let's take a look at the deck list, and wow, folks, let me tell you, this deck is fun. All right, and that's the best part about it. It's a whole lot of fun to play. Now, this is going to be Rakdos, so red and black, Madness. The whole goal of the deck is to discard cards for value. We're going to get some reduced costs and some pretty good effects, and just try to overwhelm our opponent with the card advantage and value we're able to generate. So, taking a look at the mana base. First things first, we have our Rakdos tap in Bloodfell Caves. This is entering tap, we're going to gain a life off that. We're playing two Bajuka Bogs main deck, and that's to just hit on opponent graveyard a little bit. Very relevant to the Pauper metagame, naturally. So we got quite a few basic mountains. As you can see, most of our deck is red. We are playing 4 Rakdos Carnarium, so that's the bounce land. It enters tapped, and then we have to return a land we control to our hand. And then we have 2 swamps there. So pretty straightforward, pretty basic Rakdos mana base for this one. Now, our 1-drop slot here, you can see it's quite large. First things first, we have Faithless Looting. Now, this is great card. So good, it's banned in Modern, right? So over here in Pauper, we can still play it. It's 1 mana, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. So we're going up some cards and then hopefully discarding some Madness payoffs there. And we can always flash this back from our graveyard for 2 to red, so a lot of use there. Naturally, we're going to play Lightning Bolt. We're in a red deck, we're in Pauper. It just only makes sense to run Bolt. Now we have a 1-drop creature here, and that's going to be the Insolent Neonate. It's a 1/1 with Menace, so we got the nice keyword stapled onto there, and we can discard a card, sacrifice the Neonate, draw a card. So another enabler. And a body, so it does a lot of work in the matchups. Next up in our 2-drop slot is Thrill of Possibility. This is another just discard enabler. So as an additional cost to it, so it's 1 in red, but as an additional cost, we have to discard a card. But we do get to draw 2 cards, so hopefully we're discarding a Madness card and getting some value that way. Next up, 3 drops, we have Underworld Charger. This is a 3-mana 3/3 Nightmare Horse, and it can't block. So we're only running 2 of these. They're more of just kind of a beater in the deck. Should it come up, they can do some work. We can discard it and then escape it from the graveyard, or if it enters the graveyard, we can escape it. So 5 mana, exile 3 other cards from the graveyard, and then it'll come back with 2/1/1 counters. So we'll get a 5/5, which is pretty good stats for the rate you're paying. So next up is Psychotic Episode, and this is a pretty neat card. It has a Madness cost on it of 1 and a black, so if we can discard it, we can pay the reducement. And target player reveals their hand and the top card of their library. You choose a card revealed this way. That player puts the chosen card on the bottom of their library. So very similar to other effects where we get to look at opponent's hand and mess with their hand, but this one also adds the ability to look at the top of their deck, which is really, really interesting that we can, maybe mess up their draw a little bit too. So a little bit added on there as well. So next up is one of the best creatures of the deck, and that's Merchant of the Veil. It is a 3-mana 2/3 that has 3 mana, discard a card, draw a card built into it. So, we can use it to do some haggling later on, enable Madness. But on the other half here, we can cast it for an instant first, and that's a 1 red for the instant haggle, where we may discard a card, and if we do, we can draw a card. Now, interesting little thing you can do with this. Say opponent looks at your hand and is able to rip something, like with Psychotic Episode, for example. We could actually, in response, haggle this away, and even if we didn't discard a card, because it's a May ability, we can just put it in the exile zone, and then opponent wouldn't be able to rip it from our hand. So, a little interaction if it ever comes up if you're playing this card. In the 4-drop slot, we have Grave Scrabbler. So we're going to hopefully cast this for 2 mana, though. It's a 2/2 zombie, and if we paid the mana cost, when it ETBs, we're going to be able to grab a creature from the graveyard and put it back into our hand. So that's pretty good for us. Then we have a couple copies of Alchemist's Greeting. This is going to deal 4 damage to target creature. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Hopefully paying 2 for it. Just using it as some removal. For our big payoff here, we have the Reckless Worm. It is a 5-mana 4/4, and it has trample. Hopefully, of course, casting it for Madness. It's our finisher, it's our threat. It does a lot of work when it's on the board. So at the top end of the curve here, we do have Dark Withering, which is a pretty good removal spell if we can cast it for 1 black, destroy target non-black creature. So it's not very good in the mono black matchup, but we do have a substitution for that in the sideboard. So, speaking of the sideboard, let's take a quick peek at that. We'll go really fast here. We have 2 red elemental blasts to deal with any blue shenanigans going on. We have Psychotic Haze. It's going to deal 1 damage to each creature and each player. It does have madness, so we can kind of use it as a wipe for elves, anything like that. We have Fairy Macabre, which is a 2/2 flying fairy, but mostly we're going to try to discard it, and then we can exile cards from opponent's graveyard if things are getting a little hairy over there. If we are in the mono black matchup and Dark Withering is a dead card, we're going to bring in Chainer's Edict, so not as effective, but it will at least make them have to get rid of some creatures. Target player sacks a creature. And then finally, if we're up against a burn, we need to gain some life. We do have Vampiric Link, and this just essentially gives one of our creatures lifelink. So, anyways, that is the deck. Let's see if we can go a little mad, win some Pauper games. Alright, doing some punting with Rakdos Madness. We got no lands in this hand. We'll have to mulligan that away. We got a slow hand. Don't really want to go back to 5, so we'll keep this. We'll put one of the merchants on the bottom. Want to play Swamp. And we draw Thrill of Possibility. Alright, well, we will Bloodfell Caves, gain a life, and just pass like that. Opponent plays second Swamp, and Cabal Ritual. Okay, so maybe this is Storm. Okay, just get out of Relentless Rats. Okay, so it's a Rats deck. So that means we Lightning Bolt it. And then we play our Bajuka Bog, make them get rid of everything. Keeps their threshold on their Cabal Ritual lower too, so make the opponent exile their yard. Pass the turn. We'll play Swamp again. Taps out for the next Rats. Okay, makes sense. This is only a 2/2, so a 3/3. So Withering's gonna be kind of a dead card here, which is unfortunate. I think we're just gonna Faithless Looting, try to find some more lands here. We do find another land, so we will discard our Dark Withering now, because it's just dead to us, so. And we'll also get rid of... We'll get rid of the Neonate. We can always get it back with our Grave Scrabbler, so. We'll play out our other Swamp. Fortunately, we didn't hit a red source to just bolt this turn, but that's okay. We'll just pass the turn. We'll play 4th Swamp. We'll take 2. And they pass. We draw an Insolent Neonate. Okay. Oh, we want to be able to bolt. Well, no. Okay, so let's haggle. Discard Grave Scrabbler. Cast it with Madness. Grab our Neonate. Play out our Mountain. And we'll pass like that. Then we can bolt something. Dark Rituals, okay. Grey Merchant, okay. Well, in response, we'll bolt the Rats. Opponent's gonna gain 2, we're gonna lose 2. Oh, then they Witch's Cottage, getting back the Rats, okay. We draw another Bolt, which isn't bad. So I think we're just going to cast our Merchant to the Veil. And we'll just pass like that, and we'll bolt a rat if they try to resolve one. These guys trade infinitely, so we're good there. Yep, seems good. We'll just pass. Opponent untaps. Cast their rats, yep. Opponent has 1 card in hand. Passes the turn. Okay, well on their end step, we're just gonna hit these again. Draw Alchemist Reading. That's pretty good. We are down the mana we need, so what we can do is Thrill of Possibility, discarding Alchemist Reading, that's with Madness, targeting Grey Merchant, blast it for 4, and then draw 2. Yeah, that's pretty good for 4 mana. We can Bajuka Bog here, exile their yard, Alright. And we will go to combat for 4. Down to 18, we'll pass. Opponent just passes their turn. Okay. We got a Carnarium. Okay, well, we will attack. Haggle. Discarding the Carnarium. Drawing a Bloodfell Caves. Okay, we will play the Bloodfell Caves. Gain a life. And pass the turn. We'll just pretend we're holding up something here. We could run out a Neonate, speed up our clock, but... Okay, opponent scoops it up. Yeah, we were in a pretty good position there. The card advantage is really great in this deck. Let's go to sideboards. So we're going to go down 4 Dark Witherings because this is a mono black deck. It's just a dead card in that case. So we're going to go up 3 Chainer's Edict because we can still use that as removal to replace our Dark Withering. And then we're going to bring in a Fairy Macabre just to hate on their graveyard at all. It seems pretty good in this matchup to keep the graveyard low. We got pretty lucky with the Bajuka Bogs in game 1 there. So see, just give ourselves another effect. So we'll run it like that. Alright, this hand is very red. We do have some removal and we have some redraws, and we do even have a couple of ways to get out of Worm here, so I think we will keep this. Opponent plays their Swamp. And passes. We draw a second Bolt, so that's not too bad. We will just play our Mountain. And we'll pass the turn. Opponent plays second Swamp. And Sign in Bloods, okay. Opponent down 18, up to 6 cards. Ends their turn. Okay. We draw a Mountain, so that's good. We're just gonna play our Mountain and pass here, I think. We want to keep open our removal, and we need to get one more land to do the Reckless Worm with Faithless Looting as our enabler here, so we'll go with that. Plays Rats, okay. On their end step, we will just bolt that. We draw a Neonate, so we'll play Mountain. Play Neonate. Pass the turn. There's another Rats, okay. End step. We'll bolt it. Alright, we draw Faithless Looting, so we are going to attack for 1. We're going to discard a card, being our Reckless Worm. Sack the Neonate. Trigger Madness. Cast with Madness. Get down our Worm. And draw a card. Bloodfell Caves, so we'll play that as our land for turn. We'll gain a life. And we'll pass like that. We leveled up that turn. So hopefully opponent just doesn't have bomb removal here to make us pay for that, but so they Chainer's Edict, so they have it. That's fine. We can always get it back. They pass like that. Draw another Bloodfell Caves. Well, let's Faithless Looting. We will discard Bloodfell Caves, and we'll discard that. We'll play our Mountain for turn, and I think we'll just pass like that. So we can Alchemist Greeting anything if they drop something big down on us. Opponent is up cards now. Their Sign in Blood really did well for them, and they're gonna do it again. Okay. Down to 15, up to 7 cards. Plays another Swamp. And Cabal Ritual, okay. For 3. And Rats, okay. End of their turn, we're going to Thrill of Possibility. Discarding Alchemist's Greeting. We will cast it, targeting Rats. That out of there. And then we'll draw 2 with our Thrill. Okay, and we hit Bog. Nice, that's pretty good. Okay. So we untap, drop return, Carnarium. Well, let's play Bajuka Bog. Exile opponent's yard. Play Neonate. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Rats, okay. Dark Ritual, okay. Or another Rats, that's fine. Draw Thrill of Possibility. Let's Chainer's Edict. Get in for one. Faithless Looting. Draw Bolt and Bloodfell. We will discard Bloodfell and Carnarium. Fast turn. One plays Rats. Okay. Resolves. Goes combat. We will Bolt Rats. Okay, we draw Underworld Charger. That's not terrible. So let's go to combat. Let's just run out an Underworld Charger. And pass like that. Plays Witch's Cottage. Gonna get back a Rats. Plays Rats. Okay, opponent goes combat. Attacks for 3. That's fine. We go to 18. They pass. Draw Grave Scrabblers. That is nice. So let's cast Thrill of Possibility. Discarding Grave Scrabbler. Cast it with Menace. Reckless Worm. Then we will draw 2 off the Thrill. Hit Carnarium and Thrill of Possibility. So we'll play the Carnarium. We'll pick up our Bog. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Opponent down to 9. We'll pass like that. One plays next Rats. Okay. It's a bit of a beating. So do we just take this down to 8? Okay, opponent doesn't attack. Makes sense. We draw Bloodfell Caves. Do we just flashback the Edict? We'll just flashback the Edict. Make their stuff smaller. Play Bog. Exile the rest of the Rats. We'll attack with everything. We're down to 5. We'll pass like that. They don't have any more Rats, so those can't get any bigger, thankfully. Hopefully this isn't a Grey Merchant. Oh, they did have one more Rats. Oh, you can have any number of Relentless Rats. That's right, that's right. Okay, so that hurts. They still don't want to attack here. Okay. Alright. Well then. Let's Faithless Looting. Discard Reckless Worm, discard Bloodfell Caves. Cast Worm. They neonate. Pass the turn like that. I want to try to find some removal. Grey Merchant. Yeah, that's a big swing. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yikes. That really hurts us. That really swings things the other way here. Alright. So, tighten up the laces and figure this thing out. Oh, it doesn't attack. Okay. We draw another Charger. Well, let's Thrill of Possibility, discarding Charger. We draw Merchant and second Thrill. Cast this with Escape. Get a 5/5. Can't block this. Can't block and can't attack this turn, but at least we have it. Yeah, pass like that. No real reason to attack here, right? Or do we try to get in with our Worm? Then we get punished on the crackback. So yeah, we just pass. Opponent passes. Okay, interesting. We draw Alchemist's Greeting. Okay, that's alright. Let's haggle. We will discard Alchemist's Greeting. We will definitely cast it. We'll target a rat. Rats get smaller. We will want to try to find another piece of removal. So let's Thrill a Possibility. Discarding Carnarium. Okay, Grave Scrabblers. That's not too bad. Okay. Attack, attack, attack. Like that. Opponent double blocks the worm. We take care of one rat. Charger and Merchant trade. We have our blockers up so that we can discard a Grave Scrabbler next turn with a Insolent Neonate we're going to block with. So that's good. Okay. Pass like that. Hopefully there's no... I guess we could have played out a Neonate here, but hopefully there's no second Merchant here. Okay, opponent scoops it up. Whew! Yeah, we would have got there. Sweet. Alright. Alright, let's see if going a little mad in Pauper can get us there. So this hand is a little bit slow, but we do have some card draw, and we do have a removal spell right here. So I think we're just going to try it. We're on the draw, so opponent plays Island, and they pass. Alright. We draw Neonate, which kind of sucks that we don't have a untap source now, but we'll play our Bloodfell Caves. Gain a life, and we'll just pass it to the opponent. Opponent plays second Island, and they pass, so looks like they're holding up a counter. Okay, so we draw a Grave Scrabbler, which isn't bad. Let's just play out our Bloodfell Caves. Gain a life. And we'll try to resolve a Neonate. And it happens. Alright. We will just pass it like that. Opponent plays their third Island. Okay. And then they pass. Okay. So they're holding up 3 blue mana. So we drop a Juka Bog. Well, let's go to combat. We get in for 1. And... see, I'm tempted to hold on to this Bajuka Bog just to hate on their graveyard for when the Mystic Sanctuary loop inevitably comes, but we also don't want to just not play lands, so we'll just drop the Bog. Exile their empty yard. It will pass like that. If we really need anything, we will Thrill a Possibility and discard a Faithless Looting, because we can't flash that back, and then we're just going up 2 cards, too, so. We do have Haggle as well. This opponent plays 4th Island. And they have to have a play here. Okay, they just pass. I don't know whether to be scared or not here, so... well, we will go to combat. Get in for 1. Let's just try to resolve a Merchant of the Veil here, I think. If they counter it, we can get it back with a Grave Scrabbler, if we can resolve one, so... alright, it resolves, so... okay, we'll pass the turn. You know, opponent did mulligan, so maybe there's some sort of combo deck, but I really don't know what's going on. Like, okay, so they're gonna do something here. Oh, it's Petitioner's deck. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. They're gonna try to mill us out. Well, I think this is a good matchup for us, to be honest with you. So, all right, they pass. We draw Thrill a Possibility. Let's Faithless Looting. And we're going to, well, let's see if it resolves. It does resolve. Okay, we are going to discard Dark Withering and, I don't think we need to bounce the Bajuka Bog, so I think we're just going to discard the Carnarium. We'll trigger that with Madness, and then we'll go to cast it, targeting the petitioners. If it doesn't resolve, we do have a second greeting, so it does resolve. We're gonna play our Mountain. Okay, we'll go to combat and Slimebind. So okay, so our merchant can attack, which is kind of wah, but that's okay. We'll get in for one. Yeah, we don't need to thrill here all that badly. We can do it instant speed if we really need to, so we'll just pass like that. Okay, so opponent misses land drop and passes the turn. Okay, that's pretty good for us. Do we want to thrill here to get some more threats? Nah, I don't think so. I think we'll just see what we draw here. It is a Reckless Worm, so that's pretty good for us. So let's Thrill of Possibility. Discarding Reckless Worm. Oh, silly guy. Got ahead of ourselves. We can get it back with the Grave Scrabbler at least, but that's fine. We'll draw 2 here. That was a punt, but that's okay. So we can get it back with Grave Scrabbler. Looks like they might have a counter for this. Okay. And then they're going to mill us for 3. All right. We mill a Merchant, a Thrill, a Neonate, and a Bolt. Okay. Not great for us, but we'll go to combat. And we'll just pass like that. We kind of, yeah, we played that pretty silly. We didn't count the mana we had. I just assumed that the Madness was 2 on this for some reason, but that is okay. I don't think we're too far behind here. So they're going to Mystic Sanctuary, getting back their Didn't Save Please. So our next spell is going to get countered. Opponent plays Sage's Row Denizen. Okay, so whenever another blue creature enters the battlefield. So yep, they're just going on the mill plan. Makes sense to me. And a second Petitioners. Okay, so that'll mill us for 2. They are tapped out here, though. We'll have to kill the Denizen, I think. So that'll probably put in the most work. So Psychotic Episode and Dark Withering. Alright. Alright, so opponent passes. We draw Bloodfell Caves. First things first, let's Thrill of Possibility. Discarding Alchemist's Greeting. Cast with Madness. Targeting Denizen. Burn it out, and then we'll draw 2. Opponent is down to 2 cards in hand. We get Underworld Charger and another Greeting. So, okay. We will play out our Bloodfell Caves. Gain a life. Not that life total is really relevant in this matchup currently. They can't block the Neonate thanks to our Menace, so we will attack for 1. Opponent down to 15, and we'll pass like that. Okay, opponent passes the turn. Untap and draw a Mountain. Not too bad. We'll play the Mountain. We're going to go to combat with our Neonate for 1. I think we're going to Thrill of Possibility again. And we're just going to try to burn out this Petitioner. Just keep our opponent off of creatures. That's fine, because then we can play out an Underworld Charger. We mill our last Thrill, Lightning Bolt, and a Mountain. So, okay. So we'll cast that with Madness, targeting the Petitioner. Oh, we can still target with Madness. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because they chose to trigger the Thrill of Possibility, but Alchemist's Greeting was still a part of casting the spell. So, yeah, we'll still burn it out. All right. So the Charger might have been still a better play, just to get some more damage swinging on the board here, but we will see in hindsight here. All right, so it looks like opponent doesn't really have much going on. So let's go to combat. Attack for 1. Milling out is a real fear with this deck, though. The deck draws a lot of cards, so it certainly could get us. Okay, so we get in for 1. Let's activate Merchant. Discarding Grave Scrabbler. We will attempt to cast our Grave Scrabbler. It resolves. Perfect. We will pick up our Reckless Worm. And then we'll draw a card with our Merchant. Drawing another Reckless Worm. So that's pretty good. We'll play our Carnarium. We'll pick up the Bog. Does put us back a turn speed-wise. But I think it's worth it to exile their yard. Just in case they do have more Mystic Sanctuaries. And we'll pass like that. Opponent plays another island. Looks like they pass. Okay, it's not bad. We get another Underworld Charger. Let's Bajuka Bog. Let's just exile their yard. Alright. We will go to combat. Attack for 3. Opponent down to 10. Activate our Merchant. Discarding a Reckless Worm. Attempt to cast. Opponent has an answer. We still get to draw. We draw another Bajuka Bog. Alright. Well, we'll pass like that. We do have another Reckless Worm. We have more Underworld Chargers. Might be more mana efficient next turn to just try to run out some Underworld Chargers. So, okay. Gets a Sage's Row Denizen. Okay, I'm not too worried about that yet. So let's play Mountain. Let's go to combat. And let's just run out some Underworld Chargers. And we'll pass like that. I don't think we want to start drawing too many cards here in case opponent just has a blowout turn here. I don't know if that's possible at the rate they're going, but now we can start swinging in a little bit more effectively as this way. So they Swiftwater Cliffs, okay. Oh, they were searching for red for a while maybe. Maybe they're just holding removal. Opponent passes. We draw a Grave Scrabbler. Okay, well, go to combat. Attack, attack, attack. Do we attack with Grave Scrabbler? Force the block? Get in more damage? Because if they block one of these, then that's 5-6. Not in bolt range yet. So I think we'll just do it like that. Went down to 3, okay. Well, let's activate Merchant. Discard Reckless Worm. Cast it. Or attempt to, at least. Resolves. Draw a card. Hopefully it's Bolt. It is Mountain. We will play the Mountain. Do we do it again? Let's try it. Let's spin the wheel. We'll discard a Bajuka Bog. Alchemist Greeting. Okay. Alright, we'll pass it to the opponent. And they pass, okay. Bloodfell Caves, well, let's not beat around the bush here. Do you have enough removal? It's looking like no. Alright, sideboards. Alright, we're going to go up to Red Elemental Blast just to deal with any blue stuff that they might be pulling off. And we're going to go down 1 Alchemist Greeting and 1 Dark Withering, just because I don't know how badly we really need all that removal in this deck. So yeah, let's run it like that. Okay, this is another slow hand. We do have a bounce, which kind of hurts. But we do have 2 merchants, a discard outlet, and a piece of removal, so let's try it. Opponent islands. And venture deeper, you got it. We're going to mill 4. So, Alchemist Greeting, 2 Faithless Lootings, and a Red Blast. Right, we draw a Mountain. We will Bloodfell Caves. Gain a life. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Mystic Sanctuary, tapped. Then runs out their Secret Keeper by the looks of it. Oh nope, they venture deeper again. Milling 2 mountains, another Faithless Looting, and Thrill of Possibilities. Alright. They are milling. Alright, see what we draw. Second Carnarium, wow, that kind of hurts. Do we need to haggle here at all? Or do we just play out our Carnarium now? So we'll have to discard. We're going to discard this other Carnarium. Yeah, the mana base is kind of hurting us right now. That's for sure. Opponent plays out a Towering Wave Mystic. Okay. Good news is we can kill that next turn. Draw a Neonate, so let's Mountain. We will Haggle. We would discard a card, discarding Dark Withering. On second Dark Withering, we will we'll cast the Withering with Madness, targeting the Mystic. And now that it is still our main phase, we can run out this Neonate. Right, we just pass like that. Plays an Island and a Denizen. Okay, so we're going to have to kill that as well. We draw a Grave Scrabbler. Alright, so let's go to combat. Then, do we Thrill a Possibility? Yeah, we will. Thrill a Possibility. Guarding, Dark Withering. Trigger Madness. We will cast it with Madness, targeting the Denizen. And we'll draw 2. Get a Carnarium and Insolent Neonate. Well, I suppose we play out our Carnarium, and we'll pick up our Mountain. So the Secret Keepers will be a little bit annoying later on, but they're not something we can't get around eventually. So it does buy them a lot of time for the mill plan, but see what happens here. So they Swiftwater clicks, and then floating to blue currently, and venture deeper by the looks of it. Nope, that's one of the Secret Keepers. Okay, that's fine. And then the second Secret Keeper. Okay, so they can block our Neonate. Okay. And that's all they got, so they pass. Alright, we draw another Neonate. Wow. Okay, well, we'll play our Mountain. Let's... Is there anything out of here we need to grab? No creatures in the graveyard, so we'll hold on to our Grave Scrabbler. Let's cast a Merchant. Should maybe tap that just a little bit differently. That's okay. And I think we just want to be on the aggressive side of this, so... Neonate... And pass like that. No point in attacking, they will just be able to block here, so we're going to lose a black mana. Is what it is. Opponent plays Slimebind on one of our Neonates. Okay, that's fine. And then a Petitioners. Okay, so that resolves. We don't really need this to block all that much, so we're just going to get rid of it and draw a card. Draw a Mountain. That's not too bad. Okay. Hit a Swamp. Also not too bad. We'll play an Untap Source. They can block us pretty well here, so... Yeah, we need to be able to up our pressure quite a bit. Let's just... Merchant of the Veil. Only has one card in hand, so we want to try to get ahead of him here. Discard... Draw. Discarding Swamp, I suppose. Should have done Bloodfell Caves in hindsight, but we draw a Mountain anyways. Okay. Yeah, we'll, again, not really a whole lot of a point in swinging in here, so we'll just pass the turn. Almost halfway through our deck. Haven't seen a Reckless Worm yet. Or much for removal. And now I'm wishing I would have would have kept it in. Red Elemental Blast itself is removable for this, so okay. So whenever deals damage, just damage, we have to mill too, so it doesn't even have to be combat damage, unfortunately. Unfortunately for us. Okay, opponent passes. We draw another Grave Scrabbler. Alright, well, play Mountain. We'll just play out a Neonate, I suppose. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana currently. So, yeah, let's activate Merchant. Discard Bloodfell Caves. Draw Thrill a Possibility. Okay, not too bad. Still can't quite get through if we attack here. So I think we just have to pass. Kind of hurts, to be completely honest with you, but we can at least throw a possibility, discard a Grave Scrabbler, get it on board, and pick up another Neonate, or our last Neonate there, and it's something. I guess we could also be doing our Faithless Looting from the graveyard, which is worth considering. One's going to attack with the Mystic. Okay, well, we will block and summon. Okay. That's not great, but it's fine. It still doesn't deal damage, so it actually is almost better for us, to be honest with you. Okay, and now we can... They actually did us a favor, because we can haggle. Discarding Grave Scrabbler. Oh, shoot, we clicked through the trigger. Darn it. Oh, that hurts. Darn it. Okay, well, darn it. We got too quick on it, and we clicked through the trigger. That really hurt. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Thrill of Possibility. Discarding Reckless Worm. Cast it with Madness. Draw 2. Play Swamp. Do we want to cast Merchant here? I think we do. I think we'll just cast our Merchant of the Veil. We'll just pass like that. So I think next turn we can start attacking. I mean, maybe I should have been attacking this whole time, but... We can kill something on their side with Dark Withering next turn as well. For only 1 mana. Draw Thrill of Possibility. We are going to play Thrill of Possibility. Discarding Dark Withering. And I think we need to kill a Secret Keeper. Or do we just kill the Mystic? Well, I think we'll kill the Mystic, actually. We're going to draw 2 cards here anyways. Well, maybe they have a response here. Okay, so they have the Didn't Say Please. That's fine. We'll still draw 2. We do mill 3 cards. Okay, so we get Grave Scrabbler, Merchant of the Veil. We're down to 22 cards. That's crazy. Okay. Is there any way they can double block here? Yes. But that's fine. Let's go to combat. And let's just get this aggressive game on the go. One takes it all down to 10. Okay. We don't hate that. Then I think we could haggle and cast a Grave Scrabbler. Or we could activate Merchant, cast a Grave Scrabbler. Then we go up a card, but we don't really want to go through our deck too much if we can help it. So I think we're just going to hard cast this Merchant of the Veil. We could haggle cast it. No, we can't. So we're just going to hard cast Merchant of the Veil. And Insolent Neonate. Oh, we didn't need to tap that. Shoot. Wanted to bluff the bolt. Whew! This, getting close to the mill, close to the clock, it's making me punt left, right, and center. Okay, we're going to pass like that. Is this an unsummon? Okay, no, they petitioner us, so we're going to mill one. And it's a bolt. It was right there. Darn it. Okay. Okay. I don't think they can mill us for 21 here. Any means, so let's see what happens. They attack. Okay. That's fine. We'll take it. Yep, so we'll mill 2 again. Mill Episode and Carnarium. That's fine. We draw Alchemist Greeting. Okay, well, let's activate. We'll play it safe. Discarding Alchemist Greeting. Always yield. Cast with Madness, targeting a Secret Keeper. Okay. We draw. Drawing Underworld Charger. Okay. Go to combat. And that should get us there. Yeah, we did it. All right, like they milled us real well. It was close. This was a really fair matchup, I'd say. So, right on. All right, so how did we do this week? Punting and Pauper, going a little crazy, getting a little mad with Rakdos. And you know what? The deck did all right. We did play up against any like crazy tier matches. We played a mono black list that was running Relentless Rats. And you know our removal package was really kind of our best friend there. We were able to take care of their creatures and then just get in through value. Um, and then our second match was against the Mill deck, which didn't go off. I don't think like the opponent wanted it to in the first game. The second game, they did a little bit more work. And definitely a matchup for us that's a little bit rough because we're drawing a lot of cards, and you know you can see with this deck we got through our deck. And if there's one thing I love about Magic, it's drawing cards. And oh man, yeah, that's the thing to do. We draw cards. So yeah. The one thing I think I would say is the Carnariums. I don't know. I'd maybe cut a couple of those and just play a couple swamps and there maybe. I don't know if you really need like I guess we are playing like a couple, you know, higher CMC things, but I don't know if they're super necessary that way. But other than that, I gotta say the deck is good. A little under $5, not including the bolts for the entire list. So pretty reasonable that way. The only other thing I can say is like I don't know if it's super great to take into a league. I did try a couple leagues with it and I didn't have great results. You know, like okay, like 2 and 3s and such. So you know, it's not certainly top of the meta deck, tier 1, tier 0, anything like that. But for messing around in the free lobbies, doing some fun games with your friends, I think that this is a great deck. So I just want to thank you all again for joining me here on Punting and Pauper. Make sure to let me know though down in the comments what would you change? Is there any better Madness payoffs? Would you add a third color? I know that there's a Simic list using Root Wallet and a Merfolk Looter that I really want to try out sometime. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing you all again next time.